Hey everyone, in this video we're going to go over the basics of making a position time graph from a velocity time graph. The simple steps are to first find your area between your line and your x-axis. Then you're going to need to analyze your velocity time graph to figure out what the description of what's going on. Is it, constant velocity, speeding up, slowing down, that kind of thing. And then last you'll put all that together on your position time graph. So we're going to work through a few examples of some basic graphs to kind of help you build a foundation before moving on to the larger graphs like what you'll be doing on your unit test. All right, so our first graph here, we have a horizontal line, and we need to find the area of this rectangle right here. This is between our line and our x-axis. All right, so for rectangles, it's just length times width or base times height. So 10 times 4 is going to give you an area of 40. All right, with a horizontal line on a velocity time graph, remember that means constant velocity. All right, that by remembering that, you'll know what kind of line to put on your position time graph. So to draw your position time graph, during that same time interval of 4 seconds, we have gone a distance of 40. All right, so I'm going to go, and since it's positive area, I'm going to go up on my graph. So, and I'm going to plot my point there, and then to determine what kind of line, I'm going back to that constant velocity. And I know on a position time graph, a constant velocity, to show that you need a diagonal line. All right. For my next graph, I've got a simple triangle here, and it's also positive area. So I have 1/2, a width of 4, and a height of 20. So 1/2 times 4 is 2, 2 times 20 is 40. So again, my area is 40, and that is positive. And then in this case, I have a diagonal line that's going away from the x-axis. So that means I'm speeding up. All right. So on my position time graph, I'm keeping that same time interval of 4 seconds. I'm again going to reach a height of 40, or a distance of 40, because that's my area. So I'm going to end there. And then instead of a diagonal line like I had in the graph above this, I now need a curve because I'm speeding up. And a curve that's speeding up in the positive direction is going to get steeper at the end and go up like this. All right. For my next graph, I have a combination of a triangle and a rectangle. All right. So the only difference in this is you're just going to solve each area separately and then add them together. So for my triangle, I have 1/2. I have a height of 10, because you're just doing the height of the triangle, not the whole height now, and you still have a width of 4. And then you're going to add your height of your rectangle, which is 10 times the width of 4. All right, so for your triangle, you have 1/2 times 10, which is 5. 5 times 4 is 20, plus 40, and so your total here is 60. All right, so in those 4 seconds, you have now gone 60. All right, and again, you have a diagonal line going away from the x-axis, so you're going to have a curve just like you did in the one above this. All right. Okay, so we've got some new graphs now, and some of these are in the negative now. So for the first one, have just a triangle, and that is below our x-axis. So when we're below the x-axis, we're going to have a negative area because our height is negative. So you have 1/2 times a base of 4 times a height of negative 20, and you need to leave the negative in there. All right, so 1/2 times 4 is 2. 2 times negative 20 is negative 40. All right, and you have a diagonal line that is headed towards your x-axis, so you are slowing down. So that's going to determine the shape of your curve. So on our position time graph, in those 4 seconds, we have ended up negative 40 away. So we're going to go down to there, and we're going to have a curve that shows we're slowing down, or it's going to look like that. All right. So the only difference between when your area is negative is now you're going to go down on the graph, versus if it's positive, you're going up. So that's pretty simple. All right, so my next graph has 2 sections to it, and on your test, you're going to have a graph that has probably 4 or 5 sections on it. So when you have multiple shapes or multiple sections to it, you want to break up each one. So I have this triangle here, and then I have this triangle here. And remember, it's between the line and the x-axis. Don't be tempted to say fill in this area right here. All right, a lot of people have that mistake. All right, so we actually have two identical size triangles. The only difference is one is positive, one is negative. So you have 1/2 times negative 20 times 2 seconds, and then the other triangle is 1/2 times positive 20 times 2 seconds. So this one's going to equal negative 20, and this one's going to equal positive 20. All right. On our first section, it is slowing down, and the second one it's speeding up. All right. So when it comes to our position graph, the first 2 seconds we're going to go down to negative 20, and we are going to slow down as we go those negative 20 meters. So we're going to have a curve that shows we're slowing down. All right. Then the next one, we are going 20 meters in the positive direction. So we're not going to start back at our x-axis. We're going to start where we left off drawing. So you're going to go up 20 meters, and then you're going to show it increasing in speed because it's on our position graph. Our line is going away from 0, which means we're speeding up. So we're going to have a curve that shows we're speeding up, and we're going back up 20 meters, which puts us back at 0. Right. So when you have two sections, the first one you would generally always start at 0. You're going to go down the negative 20 in this case, and then for the second part, you don't start back at the x-axis. You start from where you left off. And in this case, we have a positive 20, so we're going to go up 20 from there. All right, we don't end up 20 up here. We're going positive 20 from where we ended up. All right, let's do one more. So we've got to get a similar type shape to this one. We have a triangle here and a triangle here, and these actually are the same size as the last one. So we've got, for the first triangle, we have a positive 20. The second one, we have a negative 20. All right. So on our position graph, this time the positive 20 comes first. So we're going to go up 20 in 2 seconds, and we have it slowing down because our diagonal is approaching 0 for those 2 seconds. And then from the last 2 seconds, from 2 to 4 seconds, we're speeding up, and we're going back down negative 20, all right, from where we ended up. All right, so I hope this video helped. I know it was kind of lengthy to go through. Please let me know if you guys have any questions about this. If you're struggling with what's in this video, you will struggle on the test because you will have to draw these out. So please get help if you still need it. All right. Thanks for watching, guys.